Why can't you hear me?
Girl, why I don't hear you? Is there something happening? Oh, it's me. Okay, now talk.
Well, it's so good that it's you. I'm trying
Good.
to set up the live,
Okay.
and I
Um,
was seeing if I could put it on pause, but it didn't look like I could do that. So we're live. Why can't you hear me?
girl, why I don't hear you? Is there something happening? Oh, it's me. Okay, now
Well,
talk.
it's so good that it's you. I'm trying.
Good.
Okay, so it says we're still live. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to be in that instead of the Zoom, but I'm not really sure. My hair is at that stage, like where it's in between really short and getting to a longer stage. And
Yeah.
I went to my girlfriend that cuts my hair, and she's like, "Go goodbye." I go, "What?" She goes, "Goodbye." I'm not doing it. You have to just stick it out. It's
Why is she saying goodbye? Like, because you
she
can't.
she's not going to cut my hair. That's what she was saying. She's like, I'm in that
You're on your,
that
yeah.
middle zone. She
No
was like,
shears can give you
just
magic.
deal with it right now. Just deal with it.
Let me
Just
turn on some lights. Hold on.
sure.
Gillian has to go out, of course. Good grief, God. Ah, I need to let him room. I'm sorry, you can keep talking. I can hear you in the whole house. Get out.
That's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
So, there must be a power in the numbers today, because it says, today is 10/10. Ones are new beginnings, and what would that be? So that would be
Ready?
today's an 11.
Today's 11 too. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a 10/10, and then we do the numerology on the date today. It's an 11, so that's a magical number.
So I put it on my phone, like, to see if we could see if people are watching.
Oh, well, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's one thing. And
Huh.
then if there is nobody there, maybe I'll just jump onto Zoom and put it on Zoom at the same time.
But we're on Zoom. You mean YouTube?
YouTube. No,
Okay.
I meant TikTok.
TikTok. Okay.
So, like see what happens there. There's just such a different energy with people on TikTok, though.
Is there? I
Oh yeah,
Have
yeah.
you done a lot of lives over there?
Um, During the pandemic, I did lives every day.
Oh, so this every day is kind of your schedule, just to see who shows up.
I would do coffee talk. Oh, somebody's here, it's Suzanne. Hello, Suzanne. Hello.
We need a walk-in song for her. That there's got to be
Yeah.
what song has Suzanne in it?
Susie, they have Susie. Wake up, little Susie. And then,
So
hello,
maybe that's.
darling.
I don't know why my picture hasn't come up.
Are you like me? Do you put foil over top of your camera and then you just leave it?
No, it says, oh, there we go.
There we are.
It said that it was loading my background. So yeah. No, I actually don't have to put foil over this one. It actually has a little built-in
Slide.
thing that you can slide. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
My
remember,
work one has a button to push it, but I don't trust it. So
but
so I tape over that one just
the,
because sometimes I don't want to be on camera.
the older folks at the job, they're like, my camera's not working. My camera's not working. We're like, and
Oh.
we're like troubleshooting and doing everything. We're like, wait a minute. There's like a little slidey thing. Like, I don't have it on this one, but
I don't have it on mine. I created a slide thing. It was funny. I was in the Yucatan, and one of my coaches I was staying with, she was like, how do you have your camera just open and available like that? I'm like, I don't. Like, I'm just working on my computer. And she goes, but people can log in and get access to your camera. They could be watching us. Like, just all this, I was in trouble. And I'm like, okay, I never thought about it that way. And so then she showed me, she probably went and got a little piece of foil and, created a little Slater. And then, like, within the same hour, suddenly I'm just like closing programs and, just refreshing my computer. And then I see that someone had accessed my camera and
Oh
was
my
recording. Yeah. And it was
God.
on my hard drive. So it wasn't just this made up conspiracy theory. Someone actually did it.
Wow. I
Yeah.
thought that, like, I have a laptop, so I close the laptop, so it's like not like somebody's not watching me unless they want to watch me do my
Yeah.
doodling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where'd that go again? Where'd that go again?
Yeah, I don't understand what the fascination would be. I did some meal prep today. There's nothing exciting about that,
Oh,
but
like we were
I
talking
guess.
about food before. I got this bag of vegetables that had like teriyaki sauce, and I like stir fried it, and I made some rice, and I had a really nice dinner. It was quite affordable too. I'm like, I could do this again. But I have the noodles, the zucchini noodles for tomorrow. And yeah, and sauce, like this really great sauce that's local to our area. I don't think you guys have it there. It's
Really?
yeah,
It's
we have
only in your neck of the woods. It's nowhere else.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't know that until I was in the forklift business, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a company called 4C Breadcrumb, and they're huge. Like everywhere you go, it's a gigantic company. So I'm like, oh yeah, I went to 4C and to my boss in Ohio, and he's just like, I'm like 4C, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the breadcrumb people, and he's like, what? You know? So it's actually just like one exit on the parkway over from me,
Uh,
and they have like Italian breadcrumbs that are to die for. And
wow.
I had no idea they weren't anywhere else but in like New York, Connecticut, you know. It's like wild. So we have sauce like that too.
Oh, you guys have legal seafood. I don't think that's made it across the coast. Legals is amazing.
Now
Oh,
I
you
do.
don't like, oh, well, you don't eat seafood. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Suzanne doesn't know. I'm a total vegan.
Oh,
Yeah. So I have been for since like 2015. Yeah. So
wow.
yeah. I was a
Wow.
vegetarian
I'm
before
not
that.
sure that I could do that only because of the fact that I love cheese.
It's the thing that every single person says
It's
first.
cheese.
And what's really horrible about that though is that I have a milk allergy.
Oh
My
my
doctor always
Oh.
says, realize that you could lose a lot of this inflammation if you would realize that cheese is a dairy. Yeah. One
it
one day I may learn.
so there's so many cheeses now that are made that are like really really good, and my ex-boyfriend Rocco, that's like my recent most private prior boyfriend, so I went out with him for like 8 years, and I would taste things and I'm like, oh my god, does this taste like, it really tastes like cream cheese? And he's just like, Deb, it does. Like, like I would think I was losing my mind. Like I totally can't even remember what it tastes like. He goes, you cannot tell the difference. You
No,
get,
you
and
can't.
then he would tell me, no, that's not working.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no. But
No, they've done a good job with the cream cheese.
cream cheese is Trader Joe's
Yeah.
awesome cream cheese. Yeah, just like the regular brand or whatever. But like, I don't want to be eating cream cheese, like even if it's, coconut and whatever it is. I still really try to keep to real foods.
Whole Foods, yeah. Well, and my body was resisting, as far as intolerances, I had over
Yeah.
200 of them. And I was very religious about avoiding all of them at the same time, that you get a scale that's like red, yellow, green light kind of scale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like if I want to get better and my mobility was incredibly compromised, then I nixed everything off the list. And yeah, dairy was a big deal to let go of. I did the pH Miracle. So there's a pH Miracle book. And
I
what I
love that. I did that
yeah.
too
Yeah. So I was vegan, right, for a minute. But the first
for a minute.
rendition of the no, it lasted for months, probably a couple of years. And the first rendition of pH Miracle, they relied heavily on soy. So when I came back to it, then I
Oh,
realized I had a soy intolerance, right? So I couldn't, so I just had to make some substitutions. But what I love about the book, now they have it for anything and everything, right? If they have pH Miracle for diabetes and pH Miracle for weight loss and pH Miracle for inflammation, whatever it is. And I like that the last third or more than half of the book is just recipes. So then I can make hard and fast
Oh,
foods.
that's nice.
Like if it didn't come from this book, I'm not eating it. So
that's
I'm either making a recipe from here or I'm not eating, or I'm having snacks like vegetables or fruits. So I did have a big difference doing the pH stuff.
interesting enough. My friends that would be like, so I spoke about Craig before. That's the good guy that I was engaged to. He had diabetes type 1. And when he was dating me, his diabetes got so much better. His indigestion got so much better. And,
Yeah.
and then he was just like, yeah, everything went to crap after I wasn't going out with you anymore. But I try, I mean, I'm really glad you brought that pH diet up because like I've been struggling to try to get back on board. And there's like a 10-day challenge that they do, like where you just don't eat anything without a face for 10 days,
Yeah.
and
Well, even better, if you feel totally overwhelmed, is this them? Yes, you could actually, they set up a retreat where you could go move in, right, to this compound,
yeah,
and they're making your food and teaching you how to, see food different and change your life. Now, you don't need that, WN. What,
yeah.
Linda, would you please change your name? Linda. Now you don't need that, but for the rest of the world that just doesn't understand the food categories, right? It's very beneficial to put you in an environment where you can succeed and get past everything that's telling
Absolutely.
you, I hate this, right?
Absolutely. Everybody needs a
Yeah.
good retreat every now and again.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I'm also going to make everybody like a co-host. So in case anybody wants to share.
That's great.
You're gonna make what?
You a co-host if anybody wants to share anything.
Oh.
Um, so where we left off last night was Suzanne was talking about her current business and that she wanted to give it a facelift, right? Or give it a new spark. And
Yeah.
we're just gonna do
See what
some
she
like
did there.
brainstorming, which is one of my favorite things to do. And if you want to tell us what you currently have and what angle you're looking for, that'd be really cool.
Okay. Well, I'm known as I put myself out there as the oily empath. So like the post thing that I use online is can I just read that?
Yeah,
And then that
yeah,
gives you
sure.
kind of a background before I tell you or before I share what I've decided. So sacred tools for healing and alignment. I believe healing is sacred, and I know what it feels like to carry emotional pain that no one else sees, the kind that lingers in your heart, whispers in your mind, and sometimes makes you question your worth. I'm Suzanne Hawkins, the oily empath, and that's why I do what I do. I offer essential emotions coaching because sometimes we all need a guide to help us feel safe, seen, and supported on the journey back to ourselves. I create custom crystal infused oils, diffuser jewelry, and journals that aren't just pretty, they're safe tools for emotional release, clarity, and empowerment. And that's why I'm building the House of Hope, a sanctuary for women who need a place to heal, a place to start over, a place to belong. I serve women who feel stuck in cycles of self-doubt, emotional heaviness, or repeating patterns, women who long to rise into clarity, self-love, alignment, and empowerment. Your healing matters, your story matters. And I've created a brand new resource, the Sacred Self-Care Guide, filled with crystal-infused oil rituals, journaling prompts, and simple daily practices to help you reconnect to your worth and reclaim your light. So that's like my basic post of who I am. But so the oily empath, like I've had feedback. There's like, that's just not working, and it's not Google searchable as any kind of coach. And so I've been playing with spirit alignment coach or aligned transformation. Those are like out of like 20 something. Those are like the two that I've dwindled it down to. So, and I kind of leaning more towards the sacred alignment, only because of the fact that I use sacred a lot, and in the world of vibration and frequency that I'm in, sacred is huge. So yeah, it just kind of fits that. So yeah.
Good vibes is my shirt that I have on today.
Yeah.
It's so weird. That's an alignment, right?
Yes,
Now, I've
yes,
heard the name.
yes.
That was a lot, right? Like, I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that in any time you have to like kind of grab somebody so that they know exactly what you're talking about, like in the first 15 seconds, right? So
Yeah, an elevator pitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. Because I was like going like, what does she do? What does she do? What does she do? Like that's what I was feeling. And oh boy, and it's coming from over here. So that's always good. When anything comes from over here, we know it's not me. So yeah, I think that would say what's resonating with you, Julie, because I'm like sort of was looking up something as she was talking.
I heard the name in your I love your copy. And that's the long form, right? That I call the copy. So I would keep every bit of that. The only thing I would tighten it up if there's any repetition. But I like here's what I offer, and there was a little bit of here's what we're gonna do together in that.
Yeah.
But the thing I heard was sacred self-care. And that just kind of resonated. And if I were giving it a name, it'd be Sacred Self-Care with Suzanne. And that's it, right? Because you're defining who you are and what you are. Now, I'm not saying you're going to land on that, but that's what was resounding. And I don't know how unique it is. It's really just in your brand, right? And we can all like LLC something and then DBA that something so we can stay under the original LLC. Those are just business papers. But we're talking about branding. So that's the loudest thing that spoke to me, is because it's already in the copy, and like you said, I tend to use the word sacred a lot. Alignment, when you said that you like the two on top, is something about alignment. It's an adjective that's used, but it doesn't have any meaning, right? It only has meaning when you start getting into alignment, right? But when you're lost and searching and trying to get back on, on wherever your roller coaster is or whatever season you're in, alignment is just that thing that you're trying to grasp and get to. And you know what I mean? To me, I don't find it a power word.
Okay, so two things I came up with: soul sense, like sense, or soul sync. Like I feel like soul sense or soul sync. SOULSYNC.
SOULSYN. Oh, soul sync. Okay, soul sync.
Soul
Okay.
sync. Soul sync.
Okay.
I like this says something about kindsight, KINDSIGHT, seeing yourself and others through compassion. That's such a nice word that I've never used before. Aligned within, I like that term. feels like you're coaching from sensual. Ooh, I went in the wrong way. It's your center and like with emotional alignment, like um, the soul sense, a blend of intuition, empathy, and grounded wisdom. Kind of like that. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
soul sink in and see what comes up. Soul sink. See.
But those 3 bullets, that's what defined it more than the name defined it. You just
Yeah,
said a
exactly.
name and then you said 3 bullets, and it's like, but that was the definition in the 3 bullets.
Okay. Okay.
So soul sink.
Yay.
What do you think? What do you think
See,
about
I
soul
am
sink?
learning.
I'm asking my artificial intelligent person here what they think about soul sync. They said, "Oh, that's fantastic choice." Of course, they're always going to agree with us, right? It's short, it's modern, it's instantly evokes connection, alignment, and inner harmony. It fits perfectly for a coaching program centered around empathy, emotional intelligence, and transformation. It is also memorable enough to build a full brand around. I also love the
Mm,
word harmony. Some people say they look for balance, and in my mind, balance is stagnant and boring and whatever. Harmony is like la 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 la, right? So
oh,
I'm
yeah.
always looking for harmony, and it irks me when somebody that is doing transformational work or trying to make me feel good at a job or something, and they go, everybody wants work life balance. No, I want work life harmony. I don't want
Yeah.
balance, so um, taglines: align your energy, transform your life, where empathy meets evolution. Tune in, rise up, live in sync. That's cute. Coaching for the souls that are ready to grow. Reconnect, realign, remember who you are. I will send all this to you so you have it. Like, so you
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
come to your conclusion.
I like
Uh,
the second one.
the soul sync or the
No, there's a list that you just said, and it was number 2. What was number 2?
is a tagline, where empathy meets evolution.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Would you like me to help you design program outline? No, she has her own program. We get a
Right.
little carried away. Yeah. So, what is so when I do like manifesting with people, what is the outcome that you would like? So I heard about your sanctuary. So could you give us more in-depth picture? So like if we were blind and we couldn't see what your sanctuary
Mm,
looked like, and give it as much detail as you possibly can, and
yeah.
uh, yeah, and we'd love to hear what it is.
Well, I was about 12, I think, and I saw barren land and knew I had a purpose there. And so for the longest time, I thought that was Africa. But since I've actually been out of the United States, there's barren land in a lot of places. But what's come to me over the years, and part of it probably has a lot to do with the service that I do for my JLB too, but human trafficking is huge, and not everybody understands that it's not all sexual to be trafficked. It could be a couple of different things. But then not everybody, um, once rescued or able to flee, has a place to go home to. Either their family is no longer existent or they're not welcome because of what they've been through. And so that's where this House of Hope came up at. And having master in psychology and my heart being, bigger than Texas, I felt, well, there needs to be a place and where people can go. It doesn't cost them anything, but there's every modality of therapy, because not everybody resonates with one kind, so there needs to be tribal, there needs to be traditional, there needs to be whatever holistic and emotional and things like that. So I know that it's more people than me. Obviously, more people for money, for the building, and and more manifesting and drawing down for where it's actually at. But that's where what I see it as is just a place where I've never it's a brightly lit place
Yeah,
but it's not
this is
just
what I go to
it's
the
not
place
just
where
lights
it exists
inside.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go to the
not
place
just
where it
lights
exists already and tell us.
yeah, it's not just lights inside. The bright is, there's natural light too. So um and it's a cement building. It has more windows than plain walls. And yeah, and I just constantly see like it's on a hill, not a great big giant hill, but it's on a hill. And I just see people in there, and not everybody's coming and going. There's people that are there and they're there for a while. And that's okay because I don't want there to be a time limit. This isn't a place to go that's like get fixed in 30 days and get out. It's if it takes you 18 months to feel like I can be part of a community again, then it takes 18 months. If it took you 18 weeks or 18 days, congratulations, whatever it is whatever it is that you need. I can't tell you what you need. We only know what we need ourselves.
Right.
And
When you
we
walk
don't
in,
always know that until we start talking.
right. When you walk into a place, like close your eyes, when you walk into a place, you're walking through the front of this place. What does the front of it look like? And what is the feeling that comes over you when you walk in?
When I walk in through the front doors, it's for one, the front doors are kind of hidden behind the bushes, behind whatever the natural territory that grows there. And so it's almost like a secret entrance. But once you walk into it, it's very bright. It automatically feels like home. It feels like I've arrived. I belong. It's just very open and inviting. It's extremely bright. The room is bigger than than a Farsi practically, and and the floor is white, and there's more windows than there are walls. And then until you get in, and people have residential areas. But in that foyer, I guess is what it would be called, there's a winding staircase, and that actually I've always seen that is where I go up the staircase, and it's like a rooftop garden, just like a big giant Zen garden. It's just covered with there's a gazillion plants up there. There's sitting places. It's very, very comfortable, and it's not like a private place, but it's a sacred place.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are there programs there that run there? Are there volunteers there? What other kind of people are there in your area, in your zone?
And that is where I know that money's going to come into it too, not just the erection of the building, but I I know I do have a knowing that not every therapist is going to go there and be offering um, services, and I don't see that is a problem. I do see there is housekeeping, not like motel housekeeping, but somebody there somebody there to assist in things like that. There's a big kitchen. It's not that you don't go in there and cook. I mean, you can if you're in that mind frame already that you can do that. But otherwise, meals would be more like cafeteria style, but not so much to the point that if I'm hungry, I can't go get a snack. You know what I mean? It's like you can always go grab an apple. You can always go grab cheese and crackers. You know what I mean? But there's mealtime for community mealtime. And if the chance that, whoever it is isn't even ready to be around anybody other than their doctor or whatever, then, that can be arranged too. You know, I'm not going to make you come out and eat with everybody if what you need is to be in solace, and you won't miss your meals. It'll be brought to you.
Yes.
So
The doctors that are on staff, we're doing this like where we're projecting. So it's what is, doesn't matter how those people got there, whether they volunteer
okay.
or we raised money or anything like that. So what is this staff like? What are their personalities like? How many people do you see part-time staff? How many people do you see maybe volunteering or just people around?
15 keeps coming to my mind as far as people that are working with the residents. As far as for like bookkeeping and that kind of thing, I haven't seen a picture. I haven't seen more than like 3 people in a kitchen, but that could be because there's residents that want to be in there. I don't know. And so I haven't seen a lot of that, but 15 keeps coming up to me as far as the
Okay, so
therapists
there's
go.
15, right? There's
Yeah,
15
yeah.
people. And then what's the rooming situations? Is it like bunks or is it like private rooms or is it
They're private rooms. Every room has a twin bed and not a huge dresser, just a small dresser and a lamp, because you probably came with nothing, and so you'll be provided with, you know, your basics that you need to be there. There's the I keep seeing that there's not bathrooms in the rooms. However, as I'm seeing this, as we're talking, as I'm speaking, is that there needs to be rooms that have a bathroom because they're not safe.
I feel like there's going to be like a bathroom. I'm going to change my language. There is a bathroom between 2 rooms. So like
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill, yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Okay, and then what's the favorite activity that you have there, and what part of the building is it held in?
Um, the favorite activity so far, what I see, is neurographics, and it's out in that foyer. It's where it's all bright and lit, and there's like the chandeliers. Well, they're not even really chandeliers, but the lighting, there's crystals, there's that reflect all the light and things like that. And then these tables where, you know, all these pens, papers, whatever anything is, just for the sake of being able to rewrite things, because I believe that neurographics is a easier way to retrain things, to you know, change that paradigm and whatnot.
So Julie and I can totally see this for you, and it is already right. Like so, we just the vibration, right? You just have to get into that vibration, and the
Yeah.
more we talk about it, and the more you could have it come into existence. Um, so I'm gonna see if this could do this. A second. I was transcribing all of that for you, so you could
Oh, wow.
see if that happened. So I went to see Deepak Chopra once, and he had it was World Peace Day, and what he had us do was an exercise where you broke off into 3s or 4s, and everybody took a center stage in the group. Might have been 4, and you all gave your vibration and your thought of what peace looked like. And
Oh.
it was beautiful to hear like these other people, giving what they thought. And he said that if there's enough people believing in peace and seeing it already done, then it'll be like the tipping point, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to do with you. now if you it's there, that place is there, and if you were in the center with the light coming in, the white floor, the big openness in front of this circular stair, and if you were to walk out backwards, right, as if it was like a journey to get there, what is the first thing that has to be done in that like timeline to get there? So you now have your end point. Now come back to where we are, but you could come back backwards and say, oh, this had to happen and I had to talk to that person. And if you line this up and you keep talking about it, as there was a couple times that you were like, this is how I see it, but if you make it, this is it,
Yeah.
like a vision board kind of, and then you'll make the choices to go on the right path and to get there.
Okay.
So let me see if I do this. Julie, do you
So-
have did you have a visual of it like that? I want to say that like I felt like there was tile floor and it could have been a light color. And I do feel like the light coming in and there was something that you had to like pull shades or something because sometimes the light was too much and like it would be too hot. So that was a couple of things that I got.
So I got a similar vision when I was in Pacific Palisades with a friend and colleague of mine, and she does estates. And this house was so crazy, right? Like, you don't know there's a house there. Start there, right? So you might pull up to what looks like a little garage that is trying to fall in on itself. You know what I mean? And the person, whoever had been there, for many, many years, they just got weirdly creative and just started affixing weird structures on top of that garage. So it doesn't even look like a garage anymore, right? And then you go down these windy stairs and we're outside, right? So they're just like garden stairs and it's just overgrown like crazy until you finally come around enough turns and spins. And then there's the door. And you're like, okay. So you walk in and it's all light and all windows and all you see is the Pacific Ocean, like just the biggest ocean views. And the reason that I had the vision is because I'm like, well, what happens to this house? And she said, "Oh, well, the owner has passed, and he's left it to UCLA because he was a professor there, right?" And I'm like, "Well, if it's just being left to UCLA, like, why wouldn't UCLA make a retreat or a sacred space out of this?" Like, I just like the grand vision you had. I'm having this grand vision, like it had so many different ways to go and places to be in, separate spaces. And it had multiple kitchens. Nothing was a really huge room. But it was just so weirdly magical because it was like an afterthought, like, oh, I want to put a room here, wink. And then you literally have to build stilts to get that room to be in alignment, right? Because you're sitting on the top of a valley.
Yeah.
And it was just every time I was in there, I thought if this were a sacred space for people to come and rebuild their life, then you would have graduates of that just wouldn't ever leave the program because they would now blend themselves into the community, and you would
Yeah.
need a staff of 15, yes, because that's what you would learn. It relearn is your life skills and how to just be self-contained. And there was enough land to grow your own food and da 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 da, right? Where it would continually just keep building upon itself. So it was just a beautiful space. And it would have never passed code, right? There's no building permit allowed it to stay standing. Yeah.
Julie, I sent you something in your phone. Can you put it up on
Yeah.
the wall for her?
Put it on, where do you want it? What do you mean on the wall?
Share it in the group. Yeah.
Oh, share it? Okay. I need to send it to my email. Just a sec.
Yeah, that's why you're just faster than I am. Wait until you see this, kiddo. That's wild. I love artificial intelligence. It's just the most amazing thing. And you can ask multiple times, like, who do I need to be to make this happen? Where do I have to be? What's a mantra that I have to say? And you, Julie had a job interview and she did this beforehand and she was saying who she had to be and like it came up to be exactly like what it's
Wow.
it's using artificial intelligence to help you manifest, which is like I don't know if anybody else is doing it, but me and Julie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm newly learning. I have a paid subscription to AI.
Yeah.
I call it My Guy, but so far, mostly what I've done is have arguments with him. So I'll ask
I
a
argue with
question
it.
and this comes up, and then I'm like, are you not listening? So I'm in the process of learning what it can do and how to speak to it
Yeah,
for my benefit.
prompting it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
benefit. So I've been using artificial intelligence. I think it's like either 4 years now. Like, and before that, I'm like, big with the girl in the room, the A girl, the Alexa girl. So, and I was learning how to, make her say things and stuff like that. So I'm really big into artificial intelligence. I, you know, if my old boss ever hears this, the big boss, but the boss ahead of me knew I did this. When I was doing my review, that used to take me like 2.5 hours to do, like answering all those questions and everything. And I
Yeah.
just put in exactly how I felt about the questions and this, that, and the other thing. And I did my review. I got a stellar review. I put in like what their guidelines were, what they wanted out of us. And then I also, he answered me. So that's the Soul Sync Sanctuary.
Wow. Wow. That's way cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool. Yep.
So interesting.
Wow.
I think the staircase isn't circular, but it's like kind of like,
But yeah, but it's still, yeah, it's winding spirals. It's
yeah.
very similar. Yeah.
So that's why.
Oh,
So
I
So are
like
you an
that.
artist? Is it something that you could draw? Do you find yourself to be able to like sketch or do any kind of art or anything?
Me?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not an artist, but I can, I can, I can do crayon drawings and I'm and so at least there's the idea
Yes.
whether or not it looks like what it's supposed to, because
Right. And I'm not asking for
sometimes it's
architecture.
a lot easier to do things in crayon.
It
I
is.
used to tell people, just wait a minute, I speak in crayon. So, you will understand, just let me get there.
Speak
yeah,
I
Korean.
need to talk to hear myself to know what I'm telling you.
I
it's
So
like that.
it's
when
exciting
I
to
when I
hear.
actually, I mean, like I said, I've had this vision of having something where there's barren land. The first time I actually erected the House of Hope, it was during a mindfulness exercise, and it was like, go someplace and build yourself a sanctuary. And
Yeah.
so the very first thing I did was, okay, well, I'm building the House of Hope. I'm building the House of Hope. So I'm going to build the House of Hope. And what I did was I love I love Pacific Grove. And I know it's not a very big place, but there's it goes up on a hill because the ocean's out here. And what I found myself doing was like clear cutting 4 houses to erect my House of Hope. But I seriously don't believe that it's going
Have
to
to do
be
that.
on an ocean. But I know that it's not going to be landlocked either,
So
because I'm a water
what
baby.
about
I
Washington
need water.
State?
So
Washington State.
yeah, what you feel? My mother is born and raised there, and I
Just
lived 12 years in Everett. Yeah. Okay.
so is there barren land there?
There are places. There's a lot of native land. So it's quite possible.
That
And
maybe that
native
would be
land is a lot of it is still natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it could be considered barren. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're saying that, like cement, I could see the cement walls being like in a sanctuary that was within a like a tribal kind of, so like maybe it'll be something that's along those lines that you have.
Very well could be.
Yeah. And maybe
Mm.
it's something that started that the energy left that was doing it, and that's where the baron is coming in, and you're going to swoop in and be like the new force of energy, and it's going to be like effortless and natural and easy, and
Mhm.
we'll see.
It's funny to me that you actually mentioned Washington, because at one time I was like, where yeah, one time I was seriously considering leaving Utah. I mean, I wasn't born here, but I've lived here more than half my life now, and I was considering maybe I need to go back to Washington, even though um I have seasonal depression, so it made for a hard childhood for me. But it kept coming up, and what I was looking at was state positions, because it's usually easier if you work for a state to get into another state, but
Oh,
it had to do with tribal stuff. So, like working with being an advocate and keeping families together, because you've got a drug or alcohol problem and they're going to take your kids away, those types of
oh,
things. And so, and that just kept going and going for months, that kept going in and out of my space. Nothing actually resonated, but those lines just kept drawing and drawing clearer and clearer and stronger. And then they weren't until they weren't. So, but perhaps that's why, was learning and exploring what is to come.
yeah.
So, yeah.
It's interesting because like when people say like where they're going to live, I sometimes come up with, you know, I'll be like, oh, it's a tree name or something like that, you know. And my nephew lived on Pecan Drive, and I
Oh.
was like, at first I was like, oh yeah, but that's not a tree, that's a nut. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a tree. It comes from yeah, like I just
The
didn't catch
tree that
that right
produces
away.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. And one time I was thinking about leaving, and I kept getting Washington, and I was actually looking for houses that was for sale on Washington Street, Washington Drive, Washington Avenue, like, and it was like so, and I kept finding things. I've often thought about moving, and I'm still in the same place. Like, you know, it's like, um, my house is just so easy for me to maintain. So like it's very affordable because it's in Queens. It doesn't have high taxes, you know, and it's small. You know, it's only a 2 bedroom. You know, so and when I decide to leave, it's going to be very advantageous for me to leave because it's worth enough
Yeah,
money to
yeah.
like
Because you'll be called to wherever it is you're going. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um, So I love that. And you know, we're allowed to have a whole bunch of visions, you know, like of what's going to be. And do you ever do timeline therapy?
I only one time, and that was like during school, and I found myself like getting stuck, and be, only because I was fighting between telling my story, and if I tell my story, share my story, does that make me be a victim? And I didn't want that. So
Yeah.
I struggled with that, just like I struggled with the word stuck. And I'm like, I know that that's not a good word for me right now, but for me yesterday, when before I started my journey, when I figured out I need to do my journey, stuck was a great word. So I was like, so that going backwards is
Yeah.
important. So I would like to hear what you have to share about that.
So I just know a whole bunch of things. I know a lot of things about a lot of different ways to get to, you know, a place. And
Okay.
it sometimes is like, oh, like what about that? What about that? What about that? Like so a lot of different things is coming up. So I'm an NLP practitioner, which is neuro-linguistic programming, right?
Yeah, I taken a course and then I stepped away from it because I had all these other things and I was like, okay, I'll go back to that later. But yeah,
So
nice.
when I first took the course, you know, like I'd be like, oh, that's a bad word. That's a bad word. No, they're not all bad words. And like I can rip apart anybody's language like while they're talking, and I'd be like, but I know that I have to ask permission. Like, you know, can I ask you for permission that like I see this, you know, like with Julie, like I'll be talking to Julie, I'd be like, Julie, can I tell you that I see this in your language pad? I can tell you that you, and I hope you don't
You hover on your
right, that you were saying that you had allergies to 200 things. You're owning that, right? So like,
yeah.
there's a way to say it that it's in the past, and that the further you get away from it, then you're not incanting it, right? You're not making it happen. Just like that book with the kids, right? With the I can instead of like I will, or maybe someday I'll get better, you know? And so the timeline is, so everybody has a timeline. And when I say to you, like, where is the future to you? Like, if you were going to literally point, I can is, where would you point? Where's the future? Like, and Julie, both of you do it at the same time. Like, point where the future is.
Well, can I walk away for 2 seconds so I can grab something and show you?
Yeah. I love this kind of stuff.
We're at 53 minutes. So tonight, let's try and keep it somewhere around an hour, and then we can maybe timeline tomorrow. Let's see.
Oh, you did the check.
I have 3 of them. And if you know, that's September 4th is my birthday, but it's 2031. And the reason why is because it comes out to 8. The 90, I always say everything is 97 years, 97 this. So I actually wrote this for 97 million, but then I changed it to 98 only because 98 comes out to 8. 8 is the number of manifestation.
Absolutely.
So that's why this is 2031. And it says down here that it's for the House of Hope, which is my birthright. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And I have 3 of these. I have one on my altar, one on my refrigerator, and one in my bedroom.
That's so awesome. So the thing with what Julie said, we're going to try to keep it for like 1 hour, which we have like 15 minutes. So that's cool. The little idiosyncrasies, I can't say that word today, in what we don't realize. Like, so when I talk about the future, I kind of feel like my future is ahead of me and my past is behind me. So if I'm talking about it and I did it to you, that's why I'm bringing this up, is because I said you should walk forward, right? But maybe your future is above you or to the left of you or down. Everybody could, you could have like, you know, oh, my future's over there. You know, my past is over there, right? It's always opposite. But so I'm sorry that I did that because I didn't like clarify where your future is and where your past is. So if it's up, you know, then you have to come down and look at it. So that was one thing. The other thing is that we all have perceptions of things. Like if I say to you, what's a short time and what's a long time? So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they go like, you know, it's not going to be a long time, right? What is your long time? What's my long time? A short time for me, like, and literally like say it out loud that, you know, like, what's a short time for you? Julie, what's a short time for you?
A short time?
Yeah.
I don't know. 8 months comes up.
Okay. What's a short time for you, Suzanne?
5 years. 5 years has been
Okay.
I'm kind of notorious with walking
like
away from things at 5 years.
but
5 is also the number of freedom, so there's got to be something to it.
A short time for me is like a day or two, right? So like if we're having a conversation, right? And I'm saying like, hey, you know, this is gonna, I could say, Suzanne, this is gonna take a long time for you to do, right? In my perception, 5 years is a freaking long time. Yours is a short time, right? So this is how like humans like aren't on the same page all the time, and
Yeah.
I love that. I love that I know about that, because then I could say, hey, wait a minute, before you say like it's going to be a really long time before I marry you, right? Like you're saying it's like a short time, right? 5 years, right? For me,
Yeah.
a long time is 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
okay, it's going to be a long time. That person could be a long time, could be friggin' 100 years for them. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
communication and like learning each other's styles, and what you're saying to yourself, like, um I believe that as soon as I realize why I'm having like something happen to me, I usually can get out of it, because I don't think I want to stay in it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So my mother always used to say, like, if you have some kind of symptom, it would, and I think she got it like psychically, but I would be able to look at Louis Hay's book, and she would give you like your symptoms, like if your leg hurts, oh well, you're not going forward, and if your back hurts, and I know that my friend had diabetes, and it was like you're squeezing the joy out of life, and just be sweet to yourself, and be kind to yourself, and like, oh my God, that's so crazy, if you had problems with your eyes, my mother'd be like, "What aren't you looking at? What's going on?" Like, what's
That's
going
I
funny.
actually, that's one of the ways I lead in my coaching is if somebody's not sure, I'm like, well, then let's go physical. What
on?
is not okay right now? So yeah. And then I go backwards from there because it's like, oh, well, does this resonate with you? Does this resonate with you? And then go to the next one. So there's a process that I go through to assist somebody that's stuck and doesn't know what it is that they're feeling or experiencing or whatever. So
And
that's
and
it's
so
funny
with
that your mom's already been doing that, was
yeah,
already doing
like
that.
for years. So
Yeah.
with your coaching business, is it part of your like mission and why you're here on earth, and or is that going to be the way to get the sanctuary?
That's my way to get to the sanctuary. It's what, yeah, I love to give service, and that's a way that I've found that I can be very impactful, and I look forward to it. It's something that I can actually stand and tell somebody that I know that I know what I know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So I feel
yeah.
like maybe a TED talk or something like that, or something, maybe
Huh.
get you out there. Um, and then again, me and the AI stuff, like I think everybody should look at their business and how they're working it, and put everything into AI in a learning mode, in a compartment, right? Like, so you're just not opening up AI and like talking it to it. You like have like a file that you just do all the sanctuary stuff, you do all your coaching stuff, and every time you use AI, you go into that part of the so that, and since you pay for it, you're going to have that ability. And actually, I spoke what you wanted to do into there, and I'm going to have to go in and say, well, that this is Suzanne's sanctuary, or else it'll put it into my stuff, right? It's like, right.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have to define it. And I would say, this is what I do. This is my coaching program. And you can literally just talk what your first call is, or right, because you just want a call to action, right? You just want somebody. I went to your website. I did sign up like on that page just to like show you that I was there. And how, doing that process, what could I do to make it more attractive, to make people want to like hit the button to get the, it's beautiful that you're giving a 20-minute call, that's the perfect way to get do service and get clients. And just like part of your recreation, you know this is what we do, this is how we spark stuff, right?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. I like it.
So it's
And
all
You know, one of the bigger things that Julie and I were talking about when there was no electricity for her TV was she told me, she's like, I like your language. And I was practicing really hard on language of increase because it's so easy to speak in the language of decrease. So I would talk, I would stop, I would change my words continually. And I'm still learning for it to be natural. And it's been a while, but I know that it's coming. I continually need to
Ab-
practice it. So
yeah.
yeah.
And you do it fluid. It's not like it's I know in the beginning I was like like I couldn't even talk anymore because like, and then it just becomes natural. It just becomes part of you. And when I'm selling, I almost feel like I really have to know that what I'm selling is right for the person. And because I can NLP people into doing things. So I don't ever want to do that,
Yeah.
and I I would follow this guy that was terrible. I won't even say his name, but he would like pick up girls all the time with NLP.
Oh,
And
Oh,
yeah, and they're like little tricks you could do, like if you're dating, like, to try to get closer
well,
to.
let's not say them out loud, please. Like that, I just gotta.
We don't need
Ick,
anybody
ick.
doing them to us.
No, no,
Um,
not.
really, really good
Oh,
salesmen that are shifty are often using those techniques, which is terrible.
oh,
Yeah. And like,
mm.
I'm like, oh my God, when I'm somewhere and they're using them. But I would, I use them to be positive and to, like I sold cars, I sold very expensive cars. I would never want anybody to buy something they didn't want or, so I would use my language to make sure I was getting them the right car. There was nothing wrong with that. And there
yeah.
probably wasn't a person that walked in that was going to buy a car that didn't buy one from me because like the customer service and plus my friend with the had to sell 100 cars a month, I was the protege, one of the proteges, but yeah, so language is a really cool thing. And I sometimes have to say like I'm going to talk without a filter because I know that I'm not talking, my language isn't serving me right now, but I'm just mad, right? I'm just going to talk that way. But 99% of the times I speak and it supports me, it's and people around me. You have to build a tribe. You need the people around you to be speaking that way too, or else,
Yes.
um
Yeah.
when it comes to like having patience, people like have to work on having patience. You don't have to work to have patience. Like it's actually the opposite. You just have to be, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like I'm working to have patience. That's like so backwards. And most of the time, like I mean, like if you're in line or you're whatever, right? What do you have to do? Nothing is having patience. Doing nothing
Mm,
is having patience. And so
yeah.
like if you use that time while you're, while you're in line to be like, okay, I'm going to go home and this is all going to go well and I'm going to get there on time and there's going to be no traffic. Like, and you're making all the good stuff. And then it happens, it unfolds because you
Yeah.
made it happen. We definitely control some of the timing when we leave, all that stuff all lines up. And if you feel like the universe is lining up for you, it will. And if you feel
Mm,
like the world is against you, it will be.
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like anybody, you can. So, Rocco, again, I'm going to bring him up. It does not matter if I was at the Waldorf Astoria or I was at the local mom and pop, place. I said they should hire you because if there's something wrong, he's going to point it out. We're at one
Mm.
of my friend's house and he's like, they really didn't do a very good job, with the, the taping, in the ceiling in the corner over there, right? We'll be at the Waldorf Astoria, and he's like, "Wow, she like didn't put the fork down correctly, or like they came over and asked us just everything you could possibly find." And it
Uh,
it's it's a skill. how annoyed he makes himself, we could be somewhere beautiful, like the
Yeah.
Christmas tree in New York. So I think it's a little crooked. Don't you think that's a little crooked? It's a little fuller on left side than it is from the right side. So go look at the left side. Don't look at the right side. Like, why are you annoying your life? You know. So I did think that, like, if you were trying to, like, at Mercedes Benz, like, if he were to go in and walk around Mercedes Benz, my boss would be very happy that there's, dust in the corner and nobody saw it, or the coffee really should be at the left and not the right. Like, he would have appreciated that. There's a
Yeah.
calling for that, but I couldn't bother myself with that. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Everything. So it's interesting. So
Yeah.
Did we land on a business name or a few that are sparking?
I think that we should just give her that information and she should, like, sleep on it.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
comes up,
Yeah.
But if you want to answer Julie's question, you can.
No, I like the percolating ideas and, getting visual with it. And Debian is just like magical with the questions to get you in the visual and in all of the senses, right? And it, as much as about coaching and oils and all of that, right? It's impossible to coach ourselves. So we always need, like she said, that tribe to really be able
Yeah.
to see ourselves from outside and really get a succinct path or pattern.
So, Julie, how did you prompt the AI to get your manifestation thing that you had? What was?
Oh, no, I think what you're talking about is I played the wish before I went out.
Yeah, no, but before that,
Uh-huh.
you had a day that you were.
Oh,
really,
that. Okay, yeah.
That's what I was talking about before.
That. So, working on a film, we have, just highs and lows and a lot of detail. And I think, because in a lot of investor meetings, and a lot of those investor meetings were really focused on, and every one of I changed my pitch deck per person, right? So each person has their own basic pitch deck. And it's just so it's something that they can absorb in the order that they need, nothing about the detail changes. It's really just the order and how it's delivered. And I found myself hyper focused on the obstacles and things in the way. So then I wanted to release all of that. And that's what I used the AI to do is, wait, here's what I know is lined up right on my project. Instead of coming from all the objections, I put in everything that is working. And then I just said, now let's plan this out together. How do we see this coming together? Not the why, not the specific how, but it just wrote in chapter 1, this is going to happen. Chapter 2, this is going to happen. Chapter 3. And because we've been talking for so long, and a paid account learns to talk with you. It just used the highest vibration words in the way that, I declare or manifest things. And it said, absolutely. And it said 3 things are about to happen. And it listed out those 3 things, and it happened in those 3 orders.
Wow. In that order, even.
It did.
Wow.
I believe you read it a bunch of times, though. You were
did.
like,
Yes.
you were embedding it. And
Yeah.
when you do that, but you're crafting how it's
Yes.
going to happen, might not happen exactly. It might happen a little bit better, or a little bit, slighter than you wanted it to be. But at least you have a direction. I said all the time, like, people pray to God all the time, but they have no idea what they're praying for. Like, if the man was to sit down right in front of you and say, okay, what do you want? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you just blew your chance.
Now, wait.
Here, I'm going to tell him exactly what I want. Like, you know what I mean? I want this, I want that,
Wayne Dyer has the perfect, I think it's
Love
Wayne
Wayne.
Dyer, the perfect example of that. And he says, we're sitting there, I want, I need, I want, like our whole lives.
You get more of it.
Yeah. Or is it the shack? Anyway, so then he says, now picture this warehouse, like it's him and somebody walking through this warehouse that you can't see the ending. You can't see how tall it goes, but it's just full of everybody's wants because they never expected it to be delivered. So they wanted and wanted and wanted, and where it went was this universal warehouse, right? Where everything just gets stored because they never actually picked up the receipt.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
here's
Yeah.
another thing that we do. Tony Robbins does it. A lot of people do it, where you future pace your life. And he says, so like imagine that it's Christmas and you could ask for whatever you want, and you're just making this list of everything you want, and then you circle the things you want like within the next year, and then the things you want in the next 5 years, and then you write a letter to yourself in 6 months or 12 months, right? And with that letter, you are writing it from the future. So one of the times that I did it, I said that I did, I wanted to be fit and healthy. I didn't want to wear black because I had to. I wore it when I wanted to, right?
Mm.
Like that's very specific, right? And I dance with life. I enjoy myself. I have a boyfriend, this, that, the other thing. Everything's good with work, blah, 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 blah. So I opened this letter. I was doing Amazon, like I was like I had a shop on Amazon. I was dancing with Zumba like 7 or 8 nights a week. It's after like me and Linda split up when we only had like a reasonable amount of classes. I was wearing Zumba clothes. Do you know what color Zumba clothes are? They're like green, pink, purple, fuchsia. Like, and I was like, I wear black when I want to. And I was thinner, and it was all,
Nice.
it's crazy. Did everything come out on that? No. Most of it, yeah. But like, it's just like what you focus on and what you dream. The last thing I'm going to say is that there's a guy that is Tony Robbins' like sidekick. His name is Joseph McClelton III, and he's really
What's his name?
Joseph McClelton III. So he's like, oh, if you're ever in a bad mood or anything, is like, you can't shake your ass and be in a bad mood at the same time. So just get up and shake your ass. And it is absolutely
Oh,
true that like if you're in a bad mood and you just get up and start jiggling your butt, you just can't be in a bad mood. But he said this to the crew. They said, what is the one thing that you would do if you had to start all over again? Or what is something that you do daily? And he goes, I tell this to everybody. And he goes, and he's probably talking to thousands of people a day, like, yeah, that's how many people he's talking to at the crew meetings and stuff. He said, Wayne Dyer has meditation for manifestation, and he has a morning om. He goes, I do those two things every single day. Now go do them. You know how many people come back next time, like when we're crewing again? Did you doing it daily? Are you doing it daily? No, 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 no.
Right.
Right?
mhm.
So he, he came from like Alabama or some southern place, wasn't treated very well because he was a black man growing up in that age.
Mm.
And he's now living in California in a mansion. He married a beautiful woman. They've got a great child. He goes all over the world with Tony Robbins. He's like the sidekick. He does the health and fitness part of it. And
Wow.
he's an amazing motivator. But do I do it every day? Nope. Do I do it some days? Yeah. I would definitely say that put it on before you go to sleep and just listen to it. It's like no extra time.
Yeah.
So I was saying to Julie before we started, we should make like a laundry list of everything that we talk about, like all the subjects. Can you imagine this list already and we're only 5 days in? Numerology, spirituality, the sanction, the house, it's like so insane. The movie, the film,
Yeah.
we have, and one of Julie's friends said, I still don't get this. What are you guys talking about? Like whatever comes up, whatever comes,
Well,
there's
which the W Hotel has a whatever whenever button, so I feel like that's we could take on that. It's the whatever whenever show.
all right. So tonight we're going to stop at now, or like in 3 or 4 minutes. And is there anything that you guys want to put out there for just that I'm going to listen to Wayne Dyer tonight for sure. Definitely going to do that.
I'm going to look that up myself because now I'm quite piqued.
So they have it on YouTube, along with the game of life and how you play it. I listen to that too before I go to bed. I just put it on YouTube, and there's like a 3-hour one, a 4-hour one, and I just let it play and I just go to sleep. I said, my dog should be so freaking chill. They should be like,
Your dog should be able to manifest as well as you do.
They probably do. Like that little girl just manifests carrots like they're going out of style, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
Max,
so I don't know what kind of timer you have on your end, Debian. Mine shows it's an hour and 17, and you're like, oh, we're 15 minutes to the hour. I'm like, are we not running the same timer?
no, we didn't start exactly we started a little bit before, so it's 1:10 right now.
Yeah, mine says 1:17. It's the YouTube timer. Oh no, mine's the Zoom timer. Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah, so we've been on for an hour and 17 minutes, but it's 1:10. We started at like 12.
Interesting. Okay. No, it just my brain gets like that's where I got stuck. Hi, puppies.
He's getting his hair cut on Tuesday. We'll see what he looks like then.
I have a friend that told me that carrots are bones for dogs that are vegan.
That's exactly why they get them. My sister started with the carrots when she was training her dog because he was like a little chubby. So she's giving him carrots. My dogs were completely vegan until about a couple months ago. My ex-boyfriend's the father of Max, and we still, if I go away, he watches him and whatever, because nobody else can because he bites everybody.
Oh, because he bites everybody.
Yeah, because there's just absolutely nobody in the world left to watch Max. And he's like, he's too skinny, and this diet. Meanwhile, my other dog is 12 pounds. I got her, she was seven pounds. So she's 12. So it's really not that. There's something, his digestive system is breaking down. He's always been a thin dog. So he said, I'm never going to forgive you if you don't give him like dog food, like meat or whatever. So I get him that fresh stuff. Everything smells like bologna to me, and it's just like so gross. And I kind of found one that came in a can that's not so bad. And then I give them potatoes, I give them rice, I give them carrots, cucumbers, watermelon. I mean, they eat whatever I eat.
Yeah.
And my dogs always live a like extremely long life. And and when I would go to the doctor, I go to this blood doctor because I have like a low blood counts or something, red blood count. And Rocco would always be like, she needs to eat meat, right, Doc? And then Doc's like, keep doing exactly what you're doing because you're fine. It's just an annoying thing, I guess. But if you ever want to stop eating cheese, I certainly can help you do that. You just say the word, and I'll just tell you.
Then you can be of assistance.
I'll never eat cheese again. I'll ruin it for you.
There you go.
So good. All right. So, Julie, you want to say anything else?
No. I'm out. I'm just calm tonight. Like there's something that I've been to my biofeedback today, so I might just be a little tired from that. So yeah.
Yeah, we never got to do that. Well, maybe we could do it tomorrow.
Yes, maybe you'll fit in tomorrow.
Yeah. Any plans for tomorrow, anybody? No.
I don't have any plans for the weekend. It's a long weekend. The state is off on Monday for Columbus Day, so I'm kind of excited for that. I'm fighting myself between do I be patient and do nothing and practice boredom, or do I go get that box that I still haven't unpacked and figured out where it has a home at? So I'm like, I have conflicting. There's things that I should do or could do,
Yeah.
and then there's me and do I really need to do anything? So
So during COVID, my dining room had become like shelves of warehouse stuff for my Amazon or whatever, right? So I said, you know, I always thought that was a weekend project, and how could it be like 2 years and I still didn't get this done? I just thought it was a long weekend project. But decluttering
in my
definitely
world,
helps you.
every task is only 20 minutes long, which is not true, but I still tell myself that.
So I have like ADD and dyslexia, like the 1-2 punch. So like I'm literally doing something here and have to put a cup in the kitchen, and then I start in the kitchen. So I've hired a housekeeper, and her name is Tuesday. And
My girl Tuesday.
Tuesday comes and I go, I'm gonna clean alongside of you. And when you see me go like astray, just grab me back. She's like, Debbie, where are you?
Reel you back.
Yeah. And I get twice as much stuff done. Like, so if she comes for 4 hours, we have the 8 hours of cleaning. So then my house is like,
Oh, wow.
but because I'm doing it and she's doing it. She's like, I've
Yeah.
never had this before.
Yeah.
So,
But
well,
that's a fabulous time for you to organize or reorganize something while she's actually doing the dusting and polishing. You can do all take care of the bigger stuff. So that's
and
exciting.
we hit like one area at a time. And
Yeah.
then hopefully I keep it up before she comes back. So
Well,
all
as long as you don't rip it apart, she can keep it up for you.
yeah. Like one day I was like, oh, I have a meeting for an hour. She's like, I'm gonna miss you. Like, you know, she'll be like, I'll deep clean mop this. I'm like, okay, I'll vacuum, you know, and like I'm washing the it's it's just so much easier. Maybe I never did that with like my sister when I was younger or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't know. All's good. Um and see you when I see you next time.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good
Send
night.
send me your email address so I can send you what the chat gave me for you.
Do you want me to put it in the chat right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just put it in my phone. Then I'll have it. TDD. I probably have it, right?
I know. I was just looking at my phone, like, do I have
Oh,
it?
it's
I'm
kind of easy.
yeah.
Good. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Awesome. See you.
Until next time.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.
See you.
Okay.
See you.
Good night.
Good night.
Can you what? Can you?
Oh, I said good night.
Oh, good night, sweetheart. Love you, Julie.
Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody. If you'd like to come on and be a guest and talk about whatever, we'd love to have you. Be re-inspired.